Alright, today is February the 17th, 2020. Alright guys, today we're going to be converting from vertex form to standard form. Careful, can you please change that to a plus C? Alright, so from vertex form you can obviously see that you have parentheses raised to the power of 2, and standard form there's no parentheses and you still raise to a power of 2, but there's 3 terms instead of the ax minus h on n plus k on the left side. So it's a little bit more simplified. It is called vertex because this h and this k come from your vertex. The h would be the x coordinate and the k would be the y coordinate of your vertex if you had a graph. Alright, so the first thing to do is, because you have parentheses raised to a power of 2 and it's a binomial inside, the first thing you do is you write it twice. Then you're going to do FOIL, or the rainbow method. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 2 is 4. Then that combines the middle two terms, gives us a 2x plus 2x is 4x, so that goes here. But we still have a 5 in front of those parentheses, so we still keep that there. Now we're going to distribute that 5 into the parentheses. So that gives us 5x times 5x times x squared is 5x squared. 5x times 4 is 20x, and then 5 times 4 is 20. Then that minus 9 has been there the whole time. Bring it down, and those last two terms are like terms, and they will combine to give us 11. Our next example, same thing. Whatever's inside the parentheses at my x minus 4, you write it twice. You do FOIL, x times x is x squared, x times negative 4x. Then negative 4 times x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. The 4x and the negative 4x and the 4 negative 4x combine to give us that negative 8x. But we still keep it in parentheses because we have that negative 3 in the front, and that needs to be distributed in. So once you distribute that in, that is negative 3 times x squared, negative 3x squared, negative 3 times 8, positive 24x, then negative 3 times negative 16, negative 4. Bring down that plus 7 till the end because order of operation, addition, and subtraction are at the very bottom. So then negative 48 plus 7 will give us a negative 41, right? Different signs you subtract and keep the sign of a larger one. If you want to check yourself, you would graph this one, and you would graph this one, and if it graphs on top of each other, then you've done the correct process. Alright, some examples on the bottom. Number 1, you don't have anything in front of the parentheses, so that'll save us a step. First thing is, write that x minus 2 twice. Then we do FOIL. X times x is x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x. And you move over to the next term. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Since we don't have a number in front of the parentheses, I can actually just bring down that plus 6, okay, and just combine like terms. The like terms here, these two have an x, so they will combine, and these two are regular numbers, so they will combine. X squared minus 4x plus 10. So if they have the same sign, you add and you keep the sign. I think I wrote this a little bit, but okay. Next one. So we do have a number in front, so watch out for that. We put what's inside the parentheses twice. Alright, and then then we're going to do FOIL, x times x, x squared, x times negative 3, negative 3x, negative 3 times x, negative 3x, and negative 3 times negative 3, positive 9. Keep it in the parentheses because we have a 3 in front of those parentheses. Combine these two. It's easier if you simplify first before you distribute. And then distribute that to the end. So 3 times x squared is 3x squared. 3 times 6, negative 6 is negative 18x. And negative 3 times, no, excuse me, just 3 times 9, positive 27. Now that I've distributed, I don't need parentheses, and the last two terms are just regular numbers, and they will combine to give me a positive 15. All right, that last one, I'm going to do it down here because I ran out of room because I wrote too big. So y equals negative 2, and you have x plus 1 squared. So x plus 1, write it twice. Okay, x times x is x squared, x times 1 is 1x. Then 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times 1 is 1. Bring down the plus 3, bring down the 2. Combine like terms, which is these two. So you have 2 times x squared plus 2x, because 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1. Then we can, that's a plus 3. Then we can distribute that 2 inside the parentheses. That's going to give me 2x squared, because 2 times x squared is 2x, 2x squared. And 2 times 2x is going to be 4x, and 2 times 1 is going to be 2. You have that plus 3, and we don't need the parentheses anymore because we've distributed. So those last will combine to give us a 5. Wait, that was a negative 2. Okay, that just threw me off. That was a negative 2, so this is a negative 2x. This is a negative 4x, and this is a negative 2. Sorry. So that's going to change our answer. That's going to be negative 4x plus 1. I knew something looked weird. All right, again, if you want to check your answer, you check by graphing, graph this, and graph your answer. If it graphs on top, you know that's correct. All right, our assignment is going to be page 4142. So the first thing you need to know is to use vertex form, we need the vertex. Vertex here is always either a minimum or a maximum. In this case, it's a minimum. And that point is negative 1, negative 9. So this is our h and this is our k. So negative 1, negative 9, h, k. Then our equation is a parentheses x minus h plus k. For these graphs, the first 3 graphs, don't worry about a. Our a is 1, and we'll get into that a little bit more when we do transformations. So a is 1, so you can put it a 1, you can put a 1, or just leave it as nothing. So just y equals x, and then our h is a negative 1. Well, we have minus a negative 1, minus a negative, sorry, I forgot a square. Minus a negative will change to a plus 1, right? And then minus k, plus k, and k is a negative 9, so plus a negative 9 is just minus 9. So this is our equation for the first one. Then you're going to change it in standard, and that's what we practice in the examples. So write it up here, and then do the work. So write this twice, x plus 1, x plus 1, minus 9. Then do FOIL. So that's going to be x squared plus 1x, then 1x times x, 1x, excuse me, 1 times x, 1x, 1 times 1, 1. And then since there's no term in front of the parentheses, there's no a, or our a is 1, then I can just bring down that 9 and combine like terms. So that's x squared plus 2x minus 8. So these combine to give me a 2, and these combine to give me an 8. Negative 8. So same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. So these are same sign, we add and keep the sign. Different signs, subtract, and keep the sign of the larger one. All right, last step here is to factor. So you have x squared plus 2x minus 8, and we do the factors of 8. 1 times 8 and 2 times 4 multiply to give me 8. Because this is a minus 8, we want the ones that would subtract to give me that middle term. And the middle term is 2. Well, 4 minus 2 is 2. So those are our factors, 2 and 4. So y equals x2, x4 And our signs, they have to subtract, so they have to be opposite. And we make the 4 positive, so when I subtract a 2, I end up with a positive 2. If I switch the signs, I would end up with a negative 2, and I need a positive 2 because that's the middle term. Alright, so this is our answer for factors. On the back side, you actually have to graph it, so I would ask you to go the next step and set your factors equal to 0 and solve for x. So plus 2 plus 2, x equals 2. X plus 4 equals 0, so minus 4 minus 4, so minus 4, okay. Or just think of it, whatever zeroes out each parentheses, so it has to be the opposite. Those are x-intercepts. So that'll help you when you graph it. So if we didn't know how to graph this, then we would go to the graph and plot a point at negative 4 and positive 2, and there at least I have the vertex and my 2 x-intercepts. Alright, on the back side, that's what I'm talking about. You have the vertex form. So this is our H. So H and K, right? So our H is, the equation has minus the H. So our H is going to be a negative 5. And our K is a negative 4. It's always going to be whatever you have there in the equation, the opposite. So then my vertex is negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my vertex. And when I do the standard factor, once I get to the factors, then those will give me the x-intercepts once I find my factors. And that's where I'll put my x-intercepts, whatever they are here, and then if it's going up or down. Well, obviously, I think this one's going to be going up. Anyways, this is our assignment, front and back, page 41, 42.